Hi. How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of East Asia Soft, welcome to today's stream. Today is exciting because today I am playing a game called True Colors, A Date with Deception, which is, I believe, a visual novel dating simulator kind of thing. Hi, Bowsette. Hi, Dimlord. I'm especially excited for this because today, I believe the person who made this game is going to be in our chat with us. Let me just double check and make sure on that. If you couldn't guess by the way Colors is spelled, this game was made in the UK, and it is... There we are. How about that? Hello. Borealis. All right. That sounds familiar. Didn't you also make Venus? Anyway, there we go. Oh, yeah, damn, I saw that. Everyone, like, that was kind of an upset, wasn't it? Anyway, hello, True Colors developer. I could do this entire stream with a British accent, but I will spare you all and just do it speaking my own normal way. So, all right, that's what I thought. All right, I'll just keep referring to you as Borealis. How about that? Anyway, oh, that's enough chit-chat. Let's go ahead and hop into this game. True Colors, A Date with Deception. Probably not that. Anyway, so, yeah, it took a while for us to coordinate getting this set up because time zones are weird and daylight savings is weird, and apparently the world isn't flat, which I know is a huge shock to a lot of people, but yeah. Yeah, I guess it has been a while since we've had a Ratalaika game, huh? Anyway, let's check out the preferences here. I don't want to skip anything. I want to enjoy this. All right, I'm happy. Let's go ahead and start. I can always adjust the volume. Brianna, Malik, or Malik. Ash, okay, that's weird. That's very weird. Nothing as it seems, huh? True Colors. Warning, this game contains depictions of mental trauma, horror, gore, violence, and death. Good advice. Hey there, protagonist. What's your name? I love how it integrates the PlayStation keyboard. That's great. Face to face, trophy earned. All right, we got our trophy. My work here is done. Thanks everyone for watching. That will bring the stream to an end. Anyway, I think that the game's meant to be like that. This game is rated M for mature, so I feel like all that glitching is psychological. Well, would you look at that? Shadow under the eyes? Check. I should really stop having so many late-night gaming marathons. No! Never! Never stop! Keep gaming! Never not game. Kinda messy hair. Check. It never does what I want it to do anyway. Been there. There's a reason I keep the back of my head hidden from the public. It grows in every which way and it looks awful no matter what I do to it. Indifferent expression. Check. Yep, everything I need for the day. I'm not depressed or apathetic, but I can't lie. My life is sort of uneventful. I have a decent job that's reliable enough. I never exactly had ambitions to work in an office, but it pays my bills and keeps a roof over my head, so I can't complain. Plus, my coworkers are okay. It's not that close friends. I'm not that close friends with any of them. They're fun to shoot jokes over the water cooler with. You guys get a water cooler? The office is a pretty relaxed place to be. There's just a distinct lack of... what's the right word? Excitement? I just feel I'm not really going anywhere, you know? Repeating the same routines week after week is oddly comforting in its own way, but it's not exactly stimulating. I've lived alone in this apartment for a couple of years now, doing the daily grind, not socializing outside of work. I'm single, don't have many hobbies, and I don't talk to my parents very often. We're not a close-knit family. Life is fine. You know, it's good enough. Sometimes it just feels a bit like a treadmill. Speaking of which, I better get off this treadmill of circling thoughts and get on the train to work. Otherwise, I'm going to be late. Time to begin another predictable, unremarkable day. That feels like foreshadowing. That feels like exactly what someone would say right before it's anything but predictable and unremarkable. Oh wait, I forgot one last vital piece of my daily ensemble. This ketchup stain that I totally forgot to attempt to wash out of this shirt. Right, ketchup. For God's sake, check! Made it in time. Another day, another dollar. The usual office sounds fill my ears as I walk to my section. The clickety-clack of typing, the electronic whirs of printers firing out paperwork, and the click of spoons against mugs of desperately needed morning coffee. I head around the corner to the bank of desks that houses my little team. There are only a few of us here, which makes it seem both isolated and weirdly cozy at the same time. It has been a little while, Dim. I got my water here so that I can do all the voices.
Yo!
Morning, Skull! Sneaking in just on time? He winks cheekily at me and I chuckle. Don't worry, I wouldn't skip out on another thrilling day of this Anderson job.
Ugh, I know.
Tell me about it. If this goes on for more than another week, I think my eyeballs are going to fall out. I snort in a laugh of agreement and plonk myself down at my desk. The coworker to my right rolls her chair backwards, shooting us both a look of disdain.
Morning.
They better not, Sean. You're both going to need your eyeballs so you can cry at the funeral. Funeral?
Oh, man.
Yeah, of my patients. It's today. The three of us burst into dark laughter, bonding over the agonizing mundaneness of our latest project. What's office life without losing the will to live every other day? Am I right? Yeah, Sean and Lydia are my immediate co-workers. We're not best buddies, but we've been on the same team for the whole time I've worked here, and they helped me learn the job and get me on my feet. I guess it feels good to be an established member of the team now, even if we rarely talk about anything other than work. So, Borealis, why don't you tell us a little bit about this game? This feels like it's a lot, this feels like it's a step above Venus. Like, you have a little bit of voice acting in here, you have, it feels like a lot more character portraits with animations, and the backgrounds are a lot more detailed. So, tell us a little bit about what it was like making this game over making Venus Improbable Dream. I shove my bag underneath my desk and boot up my computer, getting ready to begin the day. However, before I can do anything else, a new voice booms across the office that immediately causes everybody to look up.
All right.
All right, everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment, to the front, please. It's more like an Aussie accent. Okay, he's Australian. The boss. I don't know what he wants, but we obediently abandon our desks to stand in a line in front of him.
Now then.
Good morning to you all. If you recall my memo from last week, I mentioned that we are working to secure some new members of staff to join your division. Larry. Oh my gosh, it is Larry. It's straight up. Oh, that does ring a bell. I'd forgotten about it, but we were promised some new additions to the office. I guess we're about to find out what the situation is. I'm glad to say that we've been successful. So without further ado, let me introduce you to your new co-workers. He steps aside, gesturing to a small group of people lingering behind him. At his encouragement, they awkwardly tiptoe forward, regarding us all with both curiosity and unfamiliarity. 3 new hires, huh? That's definitely going to make the office more lively. Casting a quick eye across them all, I notice how different they all are, in both looks and demeanor.
All right.
Welcome aboard, folks. This is the rest of your section. We have Sean.
Oh, hey.
Sean gives a trademark boyish grin and a slightly over-theatrical bow at the mention of his name. Skull. I raise a hand, nodding at them briefly. A little too aggressively, as it turns out. Yeah, that definitely makes sense, Borealis. It definitely shows. It's immediately obvious to anyone who's played that and then this that this is. I'm not implying at all that Venus is a bad game, and I think you know that I'm saying that, but this is definitely like a step above. Definitely more complex, more visually stunning, and it definitely feels like Venus was like a cornerstone, and this is the building that came from that, something like that. Holy cow, that's a lot, Dim.
Now then.
And Lydia.
Hey.
Lydia's shoulders bounce upward as she smiles brightly.
Understood.
These 3 will be your supervisors until you find your place in the team, and will be here to train you in every aspect of the job. You'll be working together closely from now on, so be sure to get acquainted with each other. The new hires nod, their eyes flitting between us, as though trying to memorize our names and faces quickly. I know I'm not the only one. I'm terrible with names. I could hear your name 100 times and still struggle to remember it. Just so bad with that.
Now then.
Why don't you introduce yourselves? He gestures at the 3 of them invitingly. There's a moment of hesitation as they all silently glance at each other, wondering who's going to go first. After a second, the girl in the middle takes the initiative and jumps in.
Hi.
I guess I'll start then. I'm Brianna. Nice to meet you all.
Thanks.
I'm honored to be working with you, and I hope to become a genuine asset to the team. Thanks for having me. She smiles and wrings her hands slightly as she speaks. Her tone is pleasant, but that spiel seemed pretty stiff and predetermined, almost as if she'd rehearsed a speech. Perhaps she's just nervous. After stepping backward a little, she looks between the 2 remaining new hires for the next introduction. This time, the guy on the left moves to face us with an easy smile.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, I'm Malik. I'm Malik. I'm going Malik. Really nice meeting you all. This is my first time in a role like this, but I promise I'm a quick learner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I make a mean cappuccino to stave off those Monday blues.
Hey.
He punctuates this last statement with a pair of finger guns. Wow, both hands and everything. That's very impressive, Borealis, doing all this on your own. That's insane. Also, just throwing it out there, if you ever need a voice for a future project, just send me an email. I'll happily contribute. Everyone giggles and the atmosphere warms slightly. I do it for free. He chuckles at himself before stepping back into line. All eyes now fall upon the only person who hasn't spoken yet, lingering shyly on the right. He looks as though he'd rather not have to talk at all. And I get it. Introducing yourself to strangers can be awkward sometimes. Wait, she... what gender is this person? I automatically feel rude about my confusion, but I actually can't tell. They have a very androgynous look about them. Ah, thank you. Awesome. And back to focusing on this. After a moment of hesitation, they seem to brace themselves and pipe up at last.
Hey.
Hi. I'm Ash. You guys seem nice. Thanks for taking me on board. They go silent, clamming up in embarrassment. Their face turns slightly red.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that clumsy ending, they step back sheepishly, fixing their gaze onto the floor and waiting for someone else to say something. I guess they're not very good at socializing. Or maybe it's just a new people thing. Thankfully, no one makes a fuss over it, and the boss chimes in again.
All right.
All right, I think you lot can get started. I know it's always difficult on the first day, so for now, just take some time to go around and learn about the different tasks that'll be expected of you. Your superiors will be on hand to brief you on everything and answer any questions you may have. He throws a hand towards me, Sean, and Lydia. We all nod dutifully. I guess we got a lot of explaining and demonstrating to do.
Good job.
Never played Steins Gate, so I have no opinion on that. Okay, I'll leave you all to it. Any issues, you know where to find me. With a curt smile, he strides away towards his office, leaving the six of us to figure out this new situation together. So, Borealis, since I rarely have a chance to actually talk with the people who make these games, especially visual novels, the boss now has a hybrid accent. I guess he does, doesn't he? Anyway, so I do have some questions. Do you have any idea how many words the script is? Because visual novels can be any number of words. They can be anywhere from 10,000 to 10 million words. So do you have any idea how many words this is, or the ballpark perhaps? And I guess a more general question I have is simply, how long did it take for you to make this? When did you start? When did you finish? If you ever actually did finish, or if there was just a deadline, you're like, fine, good enough, gotta send it off. I'm curious to hear about your development cycle and your and the story behind you making this game, especially since it's a one-person job too, mostly. With a curt smile, he strides away towards his office, leaving the six of us to figure out this new situation together. Friendly as always, Lydia takes a lead straight away.
Oh?
Well, I guess you guys should see the office and the different divisions, right? Shall I give you a little tour? Three new hires nod eagerly, seeming happy to be leaving the awkwardness of introductions behind them.
Okay.
No problem. Come this way. She beckons the group over with an energetic wave. They burst into action, following along behind her closely. While she's showing them around, I think I'll set up my database so that I can give a little demo of how it works. I tap away for a few minutes, trying to mentally prepare a sort of how to do this job 101 presentation in my head. When I've got everything as organized as I can, I stand up and catch Sean's eye. Ready to give them the lowdown?
All right.
You bet! Let's do this thing! We stride into the adjoining office with a little more spring in our steps than usual. I guess welcoming new people makes today feel a bit like recess rather than a regular workday. Oh, around a year. Wow, a year to make this and 4 to make Venus. Well, to be fair, you probably took a lot of what you learned while making Venus to make this game a lot faster, I take it. I've done just the tiniest bit of research of what it makes to make a visual novel, and a lot of it seems to be setting flags and copy-pasting text rather than actually having to code specific things like you know, a 3D polygonal game where you have to worry about character movement, interacting, and collision and stuff like that. Visual novels seem to be a lot more simply pasting your script and arranging it so that the right words come up at the right time kind of thing. 1 year to make this. That is impressive. Like a pair of slightly giddy teens on a field trip, Sean and I cast around for something helpful to do. After a moment, Sean spots whatever his target is and makes a beeline toward it.
Sweet.
All right, time to mingle. He flashes me another smirk before disappearing across the maze of desks. I guess I'd better get involved too. It seems like Lydia's tour has come to an end. The new hires are now scattered around the place, taking to various people and checking out the different sections of the office. I think I'll go and introduce myself properly. I'm most curious about Ash. I feel like the main character of this story is meant to be androgynous. They're meant to be whatever, is close to you, whatever you identify as. So I feel like androgynous talking to androgynous, I think that that's pretty unique, something I haven't seen before, or at least not too much, not that I can remember. And I think that it'd be fun to pursue that route. Well, yeah, there you go then. But yeah, it's still impressive, like having to write all this text. I consider myself a pretty fast writer. I write at 100 words a minute, which is pretty fast. And I participated in National Novel Writing Month last November, NaNoWriMo. And the goal of that is to write 50,000 words of any kind in a single month. And I hit 52,000 last November. And that took me basically typing every single day, just trying to get some words out, whether it was good or not. An average novel is about 100,000 words. Visual novels are often that much or more because they're video games with multiple routes. So, man, just the fact that you could make all of just the text alone in a year is impressive, much less, programming it correctly for all the different routes and what happens, and the extra stuff, of course, the characters, the voices, the UI, all that in a year for one person is very, very impressive. I take a stroll into the far room. After scanning the faces, I notice one that sticks out from the rest. Ash. He seems a bit frazzled, sandwiched between Lydia and Sean as they chatter at him animatedly. Maybe I should join the party and try to calm things down a bit. Actually, Tim, I'm pretty sure this originally released before that game did, so... I make my way over, eyeing Ash curiously as I go. I still can't quite figure out what gender this person is. I feel guilty no matter which pronoun my mind jumps to, in case it's not right. Hopefully, once we start talking properly, it'll become clear. What's up, guys?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, Skull. We're just giving Ash the scoop on how each division works. Why is there a broken heart flashing on the bottom right of the screen? I'm just going to assume that's the "you are clear to proceed" indication.
That's crazy.
This one has 12 endings? My lord. Okay. How about that? Okay, well, I stand corrected. Just a coincidence then. Yeah, you gotta get ahead of all the office politics now before you get dragged into the vortex yourself. Lydia and Sean grin, but Ash's expression stays a bit tense as they nod.
Ugh, I know.
Here's another tip. If you ever forget to refill the printer paper when Jamie's in, you're going to hear about it for weeks.
Oh, man.
And no amount of begging will get Barbara to do you any favors. Induce her wrath at your own peril. They giggle again. Ash continues to nod along, but they still look quite bewildered, like a deer in the headlights. I think this many people talking all at once is too much for their shy personality to take, especially on the first day. Well, I have a question, which you could choose not to answer if you want. Which of these is your favorite, Borealis? Which of these 3 characters? Ash, Brianna, and Malik. Which of them is your favorite? Well, it's a good job Ash is mainly working with us 3, right? You hit the jackpot there. No drama with us. I direct the last part of my sentence at Ash with what I hope is an encouraging smile.
You know it.
Absolutely. We're the coolest gang in the building, no doubt.
Really?
Really? Yeah, it'll be easy once you get started. Anyway, first days are for taking things slow, right? You can't learn everything at once, so don't worry about it. I kind of look around at all 3 of them as I say this, hoping that Sean and Lydia will get the hint that they should probably lay off a bit. Thankfully, it seems to work. Yeah, you're right. Go write yourself a list of all the little knickknacks you're going to decorate your desk with. Work could start tomorrow. He catches Lydia's eye and they start to stride away.
See you around.
See you later. Whew, that's better. The pair of them aren't exactly boisterous, but Ash seems to be a little on the timid side. I don't want them getting overwhelmed the second they arrive here. I glance at them as they hover awkwardly. The deer in the headlights look has dimmed slightly, but there's still a sense of caution there. Sorry if they were a bit loud. You'll get used to them.
Oh.
Yeah. I carry on, trying to make my voice a little softer. So, there are quite a few tasks you'll need to do here on a regular basis, but I can show you all you need to know. We have a great online system that organizes the team, so knowing what to do next is pretty simple. Ash nods again, more slowly this time.
Oh, okay.
That sounds good. Also, They fidget bashfully for a second. When they speak again, though, their tone is lighter.
Thanks.
Thanks for taking the edge off things just then. With Sean and Lydia, I mean. Oh, no problem. You kind of looked like you were being eaten alive when I walked into the room, so I thought I'd better nudge them away to find another victim. They actually laugh at this to my surprise. It's a soft, quick giggle, but it's sort of cute.
Right.
Hey, that's part of what makes multiple routes for a game like this so good, is where you don't have a clear favorite. I have played one or two visual novels in the past where there was like a clear favorite. Like if you had to pick like a route to end up with someone, that there was a clear favorite going through the routes. It's like, but then this one, it's like, oh, everything is awesome, everything is so well written, and everything lives happily ever after. I like the ones instead where there's no clear favorite, where it's just equally equal across all the routes. I think you know what I mean. Never say that sentence ever again. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? Everything is awesome? Okay, anyway. Yeah, it was a bit intense. We seem to favor I was just going with Ash because, like, I'll tell you why I went with her, or them, sorry. It's because when we were given the three options of Malik, Brianna, and Ash, Ash was the one that caught my attention the most just because of the introductions. Brianna's like, just the way that it was. Like, I was most curious about Ash. They're the one that I look at and I'm like, I want to get to know them more. I'm genuinely interested in what Ash's story is, just based off of the quick introduction. Just a single 2 or 3 sentences out of each of their mouths, and I'm already like, I'm most interested in finding out more about Ash just because they didn't give us much information. And it feels like with Ash, it's like, how do I say it? There's this mysterious air about them, Where it's like, huh, you're hiding something. Not necessarily something bad, just this is like, I want to peel away the surface like an onion and see the ash underneath. Oh, guess I like onions. Anyway. It's not that I'm nervous, actually. I'm just not great at getting used to new situations. Well, that's pretty common, I think. Plus, first days of new places are always weird. They dawn more vigorously, seeming slightly more relaxed now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, anyway, thanks. Anytime. They send another tiny smile my way. I shoot one back, enjoying the warmth of it. I bet they're a really nice person underneath all the shyness. My thoughts exactly. I also find their quieter energy a pleasant contrast to the rest of the office. Not everyone has to be loud and chatty all the time.
Hey,
I think I'll go and check out my desk. Sure, see you around. Ash nods once more and then heads out of the room. Well, that was... Wait. Oh, balls! I still haven't figured out this gender thing, have I? Nothing Ash said in that conversation made it any more obvious. It's not like I can even judge based on a name. Ash is unisex, right? Well, call me Sherlock, because I've got a mystery to solve. Well, I'm most interested in Malik next, I think. I wander back toward my section, spotting Malik and Lydia having a chat between the desks. They look like they're enjoying themselves. Wanting to get in on the fun, I join them.
Nice to see you again.
Oh, you're Skull, right? Nice to meet you properly. He extends a hand and I shake it. It's not a typical business-like handshake, though. It's more like a bro shake. He's one of the cool types.
Hey,
I think we lucked out with this one. She jerks her head towards Malik as she says this.
awesome.
He wasn't lying about those coffee skills. I feel like I should have paid about $12 for this in some hipster brewery. She jiggles her mug under my nose. I get a tantalizing whiff of coffee and hot, foamy milk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll have to get your order in, Skull. Gotta butter you up for the work-related favors I'm inevitably gonna need to ask for in the future. He cracks a grin, and I feel my own smile widening to match. All right, I'll try to come up with the most complicated drink I can imagine. He chuckles warmly.
What's the deal?
So Malik, what made you apply to work here? There are plenty of jobs in a city like this, right? Why pick us? Well, I've always been a fan of making money, so I can, live. He replies almost immediately. My man. Money? He gets it. He gets it. He understands. He barks a laugh to show that he's only messing around, and both Lydia and I giggle at his wisecracking.
In fact.
Okay, no, but seriously. He drops the jokes and starts to talk about how he found the job. It's not a thrilling conversation, but I find myself getting drawn in nonetheless. I think it's how friendly and chilled out this guy seems. He's not super formal like Brianna, or awkward and shy like Ash. He has a real calm, carefree vibe about him. As I resurface from my thoughts, I realize that talk has shifted toward work.
Oh?
You just reminded me, actually. Do you know how to program formulas on a spreadsheet? It'd make things so much quicker. Yes, I know very much how to use Google. I'm very good at using Google. Basically, yeah. I'm sure you guys need to know some secret tricks and tips, though. How do you tend to do it? He and Lydia start comparing formulas, and I notice how he tightens up his act just enough to be considered professional. So he's got both sides going for him. Nice. When they're done discussing the joys of spreadsheets, I jump back in. So, how are you feeling about the job, Malik? Think you'll enjoy working here?
Sure thing.
Oh, I reckon so. I have to admit, this is something of a big change for me. I haven't worked in this kind of environment before. I'm not too worried, though. I feel like I should be able to get up to speed in decent time. I like learning new things. Besides, you all seem really nice. I'm looking forward to hanging out and getting to know you all a bit better. He smiles as he says this, and his warm energy seems to permeate the room. Right back at you, dude. He nods at me with quiet appreciation, and I return it. I think he's gonna be nice to have around. And finally, Brianna. Looking around, I spy Brianna in the middle of the office talking to Sean. Heh, of course. Say pretty girl, and Sean's there. Preparing to third wheel him out of his flirting game, I stroll over. Hey, how's it going? Brianna turns to me as I speak, seeming open to having a third person join the conversation. Heh, take that, Sean.
Hey.
Hi, Skull, was it? Yep, well remembered. She smiles briefly. Huh, thanks. I'm Brianna. Although I guess I already told you that. She shuffles awkwardly for a second with an airy giggle. Definitely nervous.
Oh, hey.
I was just saying how nice it is to have someone so eager to impress on the team. I bet you were, you not so smooth operator.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to get started. I'll do my best to contribute to your already stellar workforce and produce the best results possible. Not gonna lie, her enthusiasm is a bit intense. It's probably just first day jitters, though. I doubt she's actually this stiff and formal all the time.
All right.
Well, looking forward to it. He shoots Brianna a grin before shuffling away to talk to someone else. I guess all this boring work talk has squashed all the chat up lines out of him. Once he disappears, Brianna turns to face me more directly. Her expression snaps back to attention again, as though waiting for instructions. What is it with me playing these games, Dim, and it always ends in food? There's no need for her to stand on ceremony like this. Oh, I need to know, Borealis, is there going to be food in this game? Like, the most detailed, elaborate Thanksgiving feast? Well, you don't have Thanksgiving in Europe, do you? Christmas Day feast, just, like, tables of turkey and noodles and pudding and, like, just... Something tells me the answer is no. You know, this place is pretty relaxed. You don't need to worry about being super professional and serious all the time. She regards me for a moment, frozen in thought. Then she seems to loosen up at last, exhaling a laugh.
Sorry.
You're right. Sorry, I'm being way too corporate, aren't I? That's fine with me. It'll make me less hungry as I read. She grins in disdain at herself, and I smile back. Although I do have to note, this all seems to be going very well. Almost too well. The name of the game, after all, is called True Colors: A Date with Deception. And we did have all the glitchiness in the opening animation. So I can't help but think there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. I can't help but feel that there's something going to happen. Nah.
I
was just worried about making a good impression today. I really want the boss to feel like he made the right decision in hiring me. I want to learn as much as I can so I can become a decent member of the team quickly and not slow you guys down. Well, that's really thoughtful and all, but you know the first day on the job is never that productive, right? You have so many new names to learn, desktop backgrounds to pick out, and bathrooms to memorize the locations of. The actual work doesn't tend to start until the day after. She laughs, and this time it's not an anxious giggle, but a genuine chuckle. Would be wild if it suddenly breaks out into a zombie. Imagine going through like an hour of visual noveling, of picking all the paths, talking to all the people, and then all of a sudden like a zombie apocalypse comes out and it just turns into a first-person shooter. And that's the whole rest of the game. That would be something.
Nice.
Of course, I should have seen that coming. I'd better spend the afternoon learning everyone's favorite candy and who's secretly dating who, right? Exactly. You can't see it because my webcam's blocking it, but Cartoon Skull is making fun, excuse me, fun little expressions whenever they talk, which I think is cute. As we banter idly, I find myself admiring how much more warm and open she seems now that she's not stuck in work mode. It'll be much easier to get to know her this way.
By the way,
Anyway, I was wondering... She straightens up and reins her smile back in, as though someone pressed a stop slacking button.
can I ask you something?
Is there a specific method or schedule that you guys stick to when collating your data? I don't know if I've ever seen that word before, my bad. Do you all discuss it as a group, or is it more individual based? Damn, I guess I spoke too soon. Miss Professional is back. Accepting that she's clearly too focused on learning the job to chat casually right now, I start explaining things. I don't go into huge detail yet, since it's only day one, but I give her a general overview of how the team works. She watches me intently as I speak, as though soaking up all the information like a sponge. I have to hand it to her, she's laser focused. She's probably gonna outperform myself, Lydia, and Sean once she gets going. When I run out of things to say for now, she claps her hands together with an energetic smile.
Thanks.
That's all really helpful, Skull. Thanks a lot. No worries. I'll leave you to chat with the others. I probably shouldn't hog her time.
Okay, sure.
Oh yeah, sure. It was great talking with you. Thanks again. So, Borealis, I'm curious. What is the process for getting this game onto all these different platforms? I know it's incredibly easy to publish anything on PC, especially Steam. But, like, I'm playing this on PlayStation 5. Did you have to code the game differently, or was it more like you just handed it off to the powers that be and they took care of porting it for you? Also, are these on these systems because these are the systems you wanted this game to be available on? Like, did you specifically choose PlayStation to be a system for this game to be on? I know it's also on Nintendo Switch as well. Did you want for the game to be on those systems and that's why it's on them? Or is it like somebody went up to you and said, hey, we could put it on. Is that something you're interested in? Like, I'm just curious what the process was for you. Don't get me wrong. I love playing video games on systems. I much prefer playing on console over PC. I know it makes a lot more sense to publish games on PC than console. And you usually earn more of a percentage for whenever a game sells on PC. But I'm just curious. Like, did you want it to be on a console? Was that like an afterthought? Like, was it something that from the very beginning you were like, I also want it on PlayStation and Switch? Or was it something that only after it was done you said, you know what, I also want it on PlayStation and Switch? I'm just curious. And you can feel free to not answer any of this if it makes you uncomfortable. She beams momentarily before striding away to join a nearby group of workers. Huh. When you ignore the fact that 90% of her conversations revolve around quizzing you about work, she's actually quite lively and bubbly. I bet she's fun to talk to when she's more chilled out. The rest of the day had actually flown by, what with all the socializing, demonstrating, and showing around. By the time we all exit out into the late afternoon light, I feel both tired and strangely energized at the same time.
Awesome.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your first day, guys. Tomorrow's when the real fun begins.
Aww.
Yep. We'll have to do. Yep, we'll have to actually do some work. Damn it. Everyone giggles, and I loiter beside Sean and Lydia as we gaze at the new hires. I hope that their experience of the office has been a good one so far.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been real. Looking forward to tomorrow. He regards us all with ease, as though he's already known us for months.
I appreciate that.
I've got some errands to run, so I'm gonna bounce. But thanks again for everything. Good luck to you both, too. He turns to Ash and Brianna as he says that last part, beaming warmly at them.
Thanks.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch you on the flip side.
All right, peace. He sets off at a relaxed pace, disappearing into the crowd of commuters around us. I think I'm gonna head off too. They seem kinda anxious to follow Malik's lead and go home for the day. It's probably only out of social exhaustion though, so I don't mind the quick escape.
Okay.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for all the help. See ya. They scuttle away at a fast pace, probably relieved to be able to go home and recharge. Brianna then turns to us all, a business-like smile plastered onto her face. Alright, a lot of this was cut off, so people watching the VOD, I'm going to read this whole message so you guys can see it. I'm responsible for the PC and Mac versions of the game, and Steam and Itch, and then I worked with Radalaika and EAS to replicate that code in the languages required for the consoles. With Venus, I never imagined having it on consoles. That came about as a new possibility later. With True Colors, I'd hoped to get it on consoles too from the start. I like the game to be available on as many devices as possible so people can choose their preferred device and be comfortable with it. Absolutely. Speaking for myself, I love the Nintendo Switch, and I think that visual novels on the Switch just make sense. You get to play the game wherever you want. Since visual novels aren't that intense of games, they can run at full resolution on the Switch. And yeah, so hi Andrea. So being able to play games on the Switch is always my preferred way to play games, especially visual novels. So being able to make them available on the Switch, especially, but just like you said, anywhere where people want access to it, I think that that's awesome. And I'm glad that you were able to make that happen for both this and Venus. And I assume for whatever other games you might make in the future. Brianna then turns to us all, a business-like smile plastered onto her face.
That's great.
I'm really grateful to you all for such a warm welcome. I'll definitely be pulling my weight tomorrow and learning everything I can. The professional air never quite leaves her, does it? She almost looks as though she'd like to stand here talking about email templates for another hour.
Oh, yeah!
I'm sure you will, Blondie. See you tomorrow. He winks at her, and she exhales a high laugh before waving and leaving at last.
Huh?
What do you think? The boss made some decent choices, right? Yeah, I think so. Hopefully once they're all settled in, our workload won't be as big and we can chill out a bit. Hey, don't go getting ahead of yourself. We'll still have to finish that Anderson project before then. We all groan in unison before bursting into laughter.
Laters.
Right, see you guys tomorrow. Ditto, buddy. Catch you 2 in the morning. Both of them throw their hands up in a casual wave, leaving me to head to the train station. Ah, home sweet home. I throw my keys and bag onto the table and plop myself down on the couch. I'll think about what to have for dinner in a minute. Well, today was certainly more interesting than usual. I guess I got my wish after all that grumbling I did this morning about having a boring routine. See, all you have to do is complain about something and it'll fix itself for you. I've said it for years. Perfect example right there. You wanna have a better day? You want to have a less routine day? Just complain about how routine your day is and it'll suddenly not be routine anymore. Perfect timing. My mind automatically flits between the 3 new hires I met. Brianna is definitely the most forward of the bunch, always talking and looking for something new to learn or do. I admire her focus, but I also hope to get to see a bit more of the real Brianna once she's settled into a routine. I reckon there's actually a carefree and fun streak behind the workplace mask she wears. Malik is a total anchor. He seems really chilled, comfortable in his own skin, and confident without being cocky. He's also super friendly and equally nice to everyone. He'll be a positive influence in the office, no doubt. Ash is an enigma. They could come across as a detached and maybe even rude, but that's definitely not it. I could tell that there's a much more open person under there somewhere. I really hope they can relax enough to let it show as time goes on. I am kind of curious about them. Him, her, whatever, it doesn't matter. All things considered, work life is going to be a bit different for a while, and I'm happy for the change. Tomorrow has arrived, and Lydia, Sean, and I have been summoned to see the boss. Not the loveliest place to start your Friday, but I doubt we're in trouble. He probably just wants to ask us to do something. Oh, here he is. Ah, you 3. Very good. How did you find yesterday? Do you think the new blood will fit in well with the team? Definitely. They're great. Lydia and Sean offer similar compliments, and he nods in satisfaction.
Now then.
Glad to hear it. Now, on to why I asked you here. I'm sure these new hires will be able to learn their roles just fine. However, it'd speed things up a bit if they had a designated person to help them through and really show them the ropes on a one-to-one basis. I take it that we're about to make a choice. Accidentally Aussie boss. I was watching Bluey earlier today, okay? There's 3 of them and 3 of you, so it makes sense, don't you think? How about you all decide which one you'd like to mentor and let them sort of shadow you for the time being until they find their feet. We exchange surprised but approving glances. Seems like a good plan. As we nod and emit mumbles of agreement, he folds his arms, looking pleased.
All right.
Perfect. That's that then. Figure it out between you and get to work. I'm sure the new folks will appreciate it. Off you go now. He shoos us out of the office half jokingly, and we head back toward our section.
Huh?
So what do you think? Got your eye on anyone?
Oh?
I'm not sure. I could probably work with any of them. What about you, Skull? Do you have someone in mind? Her question causes my gaze to wander across the room, landing on each new person in turn and mulling it over. I'm sure I'd get along decently with all 3, but if I had to spend more time with just one of them, then I'm going Ash. I'm kind of tempted to choose Ash. This is a route decider, and you know what I should have done? I should have made a safety save right beforehand. I can still do that! I can do that. Save, right there. Thank you. Yeah, this is why God invented a back button on the controller, for this right here. I've been hoping to get to know them a bit better and find out what kind of person they really are. This is a good opportunity, right? Shall I go with Ash? Is that cool with you guys?
Okay.
Yeah, sure thing.
Oh yeah!
Sweet, I'll pick Brianna then. Gonna get real close with her. He smirked suggestively, and Lydia and I both roll our eyes. $50 says it's gonna end with her slapping him.
Shut up, loser.
God, Sean, don't be such a creep.
Ow!
I wasn't that far off. I guess I get to keep my $50. She kicks him swiftly in the shin, and he yelps.
I'm just kidding.
Ow! I'm kidding! There's still a slight glint in his eye that suggests otherwise, and we all giggle. Well, I'll leave you to sort this guy out, Lydia. Don't let him perv on her the second they start talking.
Oh, man.
I'll do my best. If you hear the office gossip start mentioning a harassment lawsuit, I failed. I laugh and shuffle away as they start bickering playfully again. Okay, where's Ash? After a moment, I spot them hovering by the activity board at the back of the room, their head tilted in curiosity. Hey, Ash, checking out the to-do list? They turn to me with a little surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do first. Which tasks should I start learning? Well, I can make it a little easier for you, actually. The boss just asked me, Sean, and Lydia to act as mentors to you 3 new hires and show you the ropes in more detail. I could go through everything with you on a one-to-one basis until you feel more confident, if you're happy to do that. Ash's eyebrows raise slightly. Then they nod, seeming a little more relaxed. Also, I'm curious about your production process on this, Borealis. So, obviously, we have a final product here, but the final products came in different stages. You mentioned that it took about a year to do this, and you learned a lot from your work on making Venus. So, did you start this with like a general idea of how the game would go? Did you do any of the coding for the game before you started writing the script? Did you write the script before you did coding? Did you have the character designs already set before you wrote them, or did you write the whole script and then commission the designs afterwards? Like, did you have them in your mind, or did you be like, I'll figure it out later, let's get the script written first? Yeah, what was that process like for creating this game? Like, how did it start? How did it go? What was the final thing that you did? Like, the final big thing, I guess, because I'm sure that you were tweaking things all the way until release. Yeah, just curious. Since you're here, may as well ask the questions, right?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Thanks. Great. Where do you want to start? I could show you how to use the database if you like. They pause hesitantly, looking worried.
Can you just...
Is it okay if we start with something more simple, just to begin with? I just feel a bit... Yeah. I guess they're still finding the new environment a bit daunting. I could roll with that. No problem. I've got an idea. I flash them what I hope is a comforting smile. I better tread carefully for now and keep things slow-paced. I'd brought Ash to the middle office where I'd given them a pretty easy job, filing paperwork. It doesn't involve much more than putting sheets and envelopes in various boxes and folders so that they go to the right departments. Thankfully, Ash had taken to it quickly. It's not exactly fun, I guess it's the level of simple that they were hoping for. I haven't managed to get much conversation out of Ash yet, but I should have seen that coming, really. They're not that outspoken. Learning more about them might have to wait for another time. Is that foreshadowing? I feel like that's foreshadowing. Will we learn more about Ash? I'm assuming so. Putting my brain back onto the task at hand, I check over the folder they just added to. You're getting good at this. Everything's in the right place.
Cool.
Oh, good. I don't mind doing this stuff. It's kind of relaxing. I think they're the only person in the office who'd see it that way, but hey, at least someone enjoys it. I'm glad we can find a less confusing starting point for you. They shoot me a brief smile, nodding in gratitude. Do you feel a bit better about the job now? I know new things can feel strange. Yesterday was probably a lot, right? They glance up at me more directly when I ask this. A bit, yeah. Everyone seems really nice, which helps. I'll I'll try to get to know them properly once I feel more settled. I nod with a smile.
Can I ask?
Although, can I ask you something about the boss? Sure, what is it? Why does he talk that way? Well, it's very simple. Because Skull doesn't know how to... I know how to do a British accent just fine. It just slipped and made it Aussie and I'm stuck with it. I've dug my grave and now I'm burying it. Alright, I'm going to read this too for the people watching the VOD. I began by writing it out entirely in a document like a novel, and basically edited it until I was satisfied with it like a book. The character's design was a part of this early section, as I was mindful of representing a diverse cast and how their identities and experiences would affect their personal stories. After the story was finalized, I then coded it into the actual product while using my descriptions to help artists create their visuals. The soundtrack was written sporadically. Some tracks came immediately, and some I waited until I'd coded the visuals to be inspired by how it looked on screen. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Just based off of the fact that, like, from the very beginning, the main character is androgynous, and our three new hires are a clear guy, clear girl, and Ash. I kind of had the impression that you had at least an idea of what they of who they would be when you were writing all this. So yeah. Did Ash always have green hair? Is that ever like actually brought up in the story, or is it just the artist picked green and you were like, oh, let's go with that? Or is green considered an androgynous color and I'm just out of touch? If that's the case, then I'm out of touch, but I'll know for the future. No, not really. He's pretty businesslike, but I wouldn't call him strict. Why do you ask?
Well...
Oh, well... Ash fidgets awkwardly for a second.
Oh.
He just made some comments yesterday that made me worry that I'd have to change the way I look. Oh? How so? He said my clothes were a little baggy. They shrink in embarrassment.
That happened.
And my hair was interesting. Ah, interesting. A classic cover-up word for disapproval. Ash's hair has always been green. Excellent. It fits them well. Look at that. Green hair. It's cute. Damn. Sorry he made you feel bad about it.
That's not...
No, it's... They pause for a second, and then an unexpected grin spreads across their face. A shy but genuine giggle bursts into the air. It catches me off guard, but in a nice way.
No stress.
It wasn't great, but it was kind of funny, too. It's not the first time I've had people comment on how I look. It's a shame that they've had people judging them on it, but it seems like they're somewhat used to it if they can laugh about it. Besides, I think their appearance suits them. It's cool with me. It doesn't help the gender confusion, but that's another story. I don't think you'll have any trouble with it here. The boss is a professional guy, but he's pretty reasonable too. He probably said that just to hint at the idea that he might not love it, but I'm sure he won't make a fuss. As long as you show up on time and do a good job, I don't think he really minds that much about anything else. Ash's shoulders relaxed slightly in relief.
Cool.
That's good to hear. I'm kind of used to people being weird about my looks, but it's my decision at the end of the day, as long as it won't be a problem here. I nod in agreement, and their sudden confidence surprises me. They seem pretty certain about themselves when it comes to this. Not something I imagined from such a shy person. We're peeling back the layers, people. The onion is being peeled. I repeat, the onion is being peeled. Sound the cannons. I'm glad it doesn't bother you if people say anything.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, honestly. I'm happy with the way I am, and I guess that's all that matters, right? Absolutely. I love that you don't feel any pressure to conform to anyone's expectations when it comes to that. You're right not to. Your style is your business. You should totally own it. Ash seems to really appreciate the compliment.
Thanks a lot.
Ah, thanks. I think I've become more firm about it because of how it relates to some personal stuff. Their expression grows serious again, and they abandon their paperwork to gaze at me more directly.
You know...
I hope this isn't too much information, but... Oh, we're about to learn something. I actually identify as non-binary. I thought we were going to learn something there. I thought that was kind of obvious, but that's fine. Oh, that suddenly makes a lot of sense. I guess the gender confusion is kind of understandable now. It's not too much at all. Thanks for telling me that. I totally get it.
Thanks.
Thanks. I've had to embrace a few new things while discovering myself on that journey, and being confident about how I present myself is one of them. It was hard at first, but I'm much better at it now. I get that some workplaces might not think it's right for their employees to look so androgynous or whatever word people want to use to describe me, but I'll still do what I can to keep my identity. Wow, that's actually really powerful. Who knew there was such determination behind that unsure expression they usually wear? I might not know what sex Ash was born as, but honestly, I don't think it really matters. Ash is Ash, and I'm happy to accept that without knowing any details about the past. I think I stare in awe for a second too long. Ash seems to grow worried as they look back at me.
Hold on.
It doesn't weird you out, does it? That I'm non-binary? Oh, no, of course not.
Okay.
Okay. Some people just, I don't know, have a problem with it. No, seriously, you're you. And I like that. The appearance thing also makes total sense. It's important that you feel good about how you look and that it represents who you really are. That's not something you should ever compromise, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's how I try to live nowadays. Well, I think you're nailing it. Don't worry about the boss. If he says anything else, I'll back you up. We got this. Ash chuckles, her whole face brightening.
Thanks.
Thanks. I might need the support. We grin at each other, and the day suddenly feels a lot more vibrant. By the way, I just want to make sure I get this right. What pronouns do you prefer?
Wow.
Oh. Wow, okay. I'm not actually used to people asking me that. Thanks for caring. Of course. I'd never want to offend them, even if it was by accident. People should be more aware of these things in this day and age. I usually go by they, them. Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Sure.
No problem. Whew. Mystery solved.
Well...
They glance back down at the discarded pile of paper in front of them.
Right.
We should probably get back to work, right? Yeah, I guess so. You know, you could always, if you're ever in a situation where you don't know what pronoun to use, I've got a really simple solution. Hey, you. It'll work for anyone. Hey, you. It also works if you can't remember the person's name. Just a free life hack from Skull. You get one a year. That was my one for 2024. They settle back down, sorting through the pages again. I do the same, but there's a pleasant, warm feeling in my chest that's hard to ignore. I got my wish to get to know Ash a bit better just now, and I really enjoyed it. The more I find out about them, the more I want to learn. Which is kind of how I feel. Like, we just learned a little bit about Ash, and now I'm like, okay, But now, let's get a little closer. I wanna be friends. In a lot of cultures, that's actually a rude thing to say.
Oh,
Also, Skull? Yeah?
thanks.
Thanks for the nice talk and understanding. Another sweet smile comes my way, and I can't help but reflect it. Anytime. The afternoon had passed decently. I had introduced Ash to some more easy tasks, and our conversation flowed more smoothly as time went on. I'm really glad that we've broken the ice properly now. When the clock finally hits 5 p.m., the whole room rejoices. Home time!
Awesome.
Just want to say, good work, everyone. That was a great first proper day on the job.
Sweet.
I second that. Gold stars all around. I hum in agreement, giving the thumbs up. Everyone smiles, and the new hires nod in thanks. Once we get our things together, all 6 of us seem to hover expectantly, glancing around and wondering who's going to walk with who as we leave. Malik, Brianna, and Ash are probably feeling a bit awkward, having still not been here long enough to make proper friends with anyone. After a few seconds, Malik turns to Brianna, who smiles woodenly. She then catches Lydia's eye, and Lydia motions to Sean. I guess they're all wanting to walk as a group. I go to join them, but then out of the corner of my eye, I spy Ash. They haven't moved yet, still lingering bashfully by their desk. Maybe the group scenario is a little too much for them. Hey, want to head down together? They glance between me and the others, seeming a little relieved about my offer. The idea of being just us two must be more appealing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure thing. After sharing a brief smile, we make for the stairs. As we come to a halt on the sidewalk, I turn back and spot the rest of our section saying their goodbyes in a huddle. I guess we were the only ones that splintered off. Ready to head home? They do look a little tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna chill out tonight. Thanks for all the help today and everything else. Ash strikes me as the kind of person who is this way in real life, but as soon as they get home, they pop open Call of Duty and then they just spend the whole night screaming at noobs and 12-year-olds in the game. Like, just the most authoritative. Like, get out of my game! I'm so much better than you! Who do you think you are? Do you have any idea who you're messing with? Ash just comes across as that kind of person. They would absolutely go home and then play video games hardcore like that. Maybe I'm completely misunderstanding who Ash actually is as a person, but if they did that, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. Don't mention it. I hope I can make your first proper day on the job a bit easier.
Definitely.
Oh, you definitely did. I know a lot more about what I'm doing now. I think I'll be able to get used to everything soon. Things still feel a bit weird, but it'll probably help if I can start making friends. They smile, but their eyes dart around everybody with a little anxiety. Malik is cracking jokes with the others. They're all laughing and chipping in with silly comments of their own. Since Ash isn't as outgoing as that, it must seem kind of intimidating for them to try to get involved. If they prefer a quieter atmosphere and having more individual conversations, then I'm happy to try to provide that. Well, you know, I'm always around if you want to chat. It'd be nice for us to get to know each other better. Ash's wondering eyes land on me again, and they relax.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like that. Today was fun. I smile, and then an idea strikes me. This might be a bit too bold, but... You know, we could always hang out sometime at the weekend if you wanted. It'd be much easier to talk when we're not working. Surprise floods their expression, and I instantly worry that I've overstepped the mark. It's not like me to invite people out, but I guess this whole new hires thing has disrupted my usual thought process. Besides, I do genuinely like Ash. I'd love a chance to work my way toward being actual friends with them like they said. Is it too soon to ask, though? Ash cocks their head to one side as they contemplate me. To my relief, their slightly alarmed look gives way to a smile.
Sure.
Sure. I mean, thanks for inviting me. I didn't expect that. Neither did I. I kind of just blurted it out. Hey, anytime. I don't know what you're doing this weekend, but if you were down to meet up... Wait, that might be too short notice. My own social life is completely dead, so I didn't even think twice about making impromptu plans. Ash might already be busy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really doing anything tomorrow. Is that okay? Oh, all right, we're on. That's fine with me. The pair of us grin with awkward enthusiasm, and then we swap numbers so that we could arrange a time and place. So I save the new contact in my phone. My chest flutters with excitement. This is definitely not part of my normal weekend activities, and it's a nice contrast. Well, I have the impression that this wasn't a part of your normal weekend activities, but it's about to be a new normal, maybe. So what do you want to do? Anything you usually get up to at the weekend? Well... A blush starts to creep into their cheeks.
This is...
You'll probably think I'm boring, but I'm kind of introverted, so... I tend to just do quiet things like going to the cinema. They seem a little ashamed, but I certainly don't think it's lame. What's wrong with going to the movies? I love going to the movies. That's cool with me. I haven't been to the cinema for a while. Want to watch a movie?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, all right then. Shall we just see what's on when we get there? Sure, I'm easy. I'll watch almost anything.
Cool.
Okay, so we'll meet outside the cinema? We can figure out a time later if you want. Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Nice.
Me too. This is really happening. I'm so glad I didn't scare them off by being so forward.
See ya.
See you tomorrow then. Yep, see ya. They patter away down the street, and I'm filled with an unfamiliar buzzy feeling as I watch them go. Ash is definitely one of the most introverted people I've met, but there's something about them that I'm drawn to, even when they're too shy to express themselves properly. I get it. The game is called Date with Deception because they go to the theater and they watch the film Deception. The film is called Deception, probably a prequel, that's what I'm thinking. Deception is a prequel to Inception, the Christopher Nolan film. They go to the film, they watch the film Deception, that's why it's called True Colors, A Date with Deception. And then the game ends and everyone lives happily ever after with nothing bad happening whatsoever. I'm calling it now. I really hope I can help them to feel relaxed around me tomorrow. And never mind all that, just the thought of going anywhere with anyone at the weekend is pretty sweet to me. When was the last time I got invited anywhere that wasn't just Sean and Lydia dragging me to a cafe for an extra caffeine boost after a hard day? I genuinely can't remember. My chest hums slightly with a warm feeling, and I find myself looking forward to tomorrow. Snapping out of my reverie, I realize that everyone else has already left. They must have all said goodbye and gone while Ash and I were making plans. Turning on my heel, I head off toward home, feeling a little tingle of optimism. Finally, something fun is happening in this dull life of mine. All you need to do is complain, people. My bad. Excuse me. The cheerful sunlight bathes the city in a happy glow as I walk, magnifying my already good mood. Deception starring Liam Neeson. I don't know who you are, but I will find you, or I will look for you. I will find you, and I will take you on a date to the movies. The cheerful sunlight bathes the city in a happy glow as I walk, magnifying my already good mood. I'm still psyched that I get to spend today with a potential new friend. I hardly stopped thinking about it all evening. Is that bad? Is my routine really that boring that a single casual hangout seems this monumental? Get a life, Skull. That's what my mother-in-law tells me. Chuckling at myself, I come to a halt by the square outside the big entertainment complex. I don't think Ash has arrived yet. Wait, this is the movie theater? Wow, I want one of those. Oh wait, I see them. I wave with a smile to catch their attention. They notice me, waving back with a sheepish grin.
Hey.
Ah, different shirt. Hey Ash, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'm not late, am I? Nope, I literally just got here myself.
Cool.
New outfit unlocked. Ah, good. So do each of them have different outfits then? Are there more outfits besides this one? It's always fun seeing characters in different outfits in VNs. It's an extra detail that takes a lot of extra work and money to make happen, but it's always a nice little detail when it happens because it feels like the characters are that much more alive and that much more real. It's not green, it's lemon. It's like lemon lime. It's like a yellow. For a second, I help but gaze with interest at their outfit. Every character has a work outfit and a casual outfit. Yes! The whole thing increases the non-binary vibes tenfold. It really suits them, actually, and it's definitely a look I'd only associate with Ash. As I'm admiring it, Ash shoots me a confused look. You okay? Lemons are yellow? Lemons are not green, are they? Limes are green. Anyway. Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking that your clothes really add to the non-binary part of your identity. Everything you said yesterday makes a lot more sense now that I see you like this.
Oh.
Oh. Is that a good thing? Of course. You look more you than you do at work. It's cool. Ash nods slowly, turning my words over in their mind. Well, thanks. I can't quite tell what they're thinking. Maybe they're just not used to people being nice about their fashion sense. The shirt is meant to be yellow. It's that stupid dress all over again. Is it yellow or is it blue? Or is it white or is it blue? After a while, they shrug off their spaced out expression.
Well.
Anyway, ready to catch a movie? Yeah, let's head inside. Guys, I want this place. I want this place. I want to live here permanently. This looks awesome. I could just, please, just let me be here. Huh, I have to enter a CAPTCHA in order to view that webpage. It has to prove I'm not a robot. Well, unfortunately, Dim, I am an AI constructed entirely with ChatGPT code, so I would fail that. You see, if I mention ChatGPT, that boosts this video in the algorithm, whether it's true or not. Anyway, we instantly gravitate toward the board that's displaying all the movie times.
Hey,
Is there anything specific you want to see? Not really. I don't mind what we watch. What about you? Anything you've had your eye on?
yeah.
There is one. You might think it's stupid, though. I'm sure I won't. What is it? They shift a little in embarrassment.
You know.
I tend to go for things with romance in them. I was thinking of checking out this one. They point to the title of a rom-com movie.
But
We really don't have to, though. I won't drag you to see it if it's not your thing. Aw, she's... Oh, sorry. They're so embarrassed. They're so embarrassed. Look at that. Their posture wilts as though they're already expecting me to say, hell no, I'm not watching that crap. Luckily, I'm not that judgmental. Hey, it's fine with me. I just like movies in general. I'm totally down for a rom-com if that's what you want to see. Me, I'll watch anything except for horror. I'm not a fan of horror. I like rom-coms though. Come on, there's so many good ones. Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail. I'm only listing stuff from the 90s. I'm trying to think. There aren't that many rom-coms anymore, are there? And they're all like major adult films. Like last year was No Strings Attached. There aren't that many rom-coms being made anymore these days. Runaway Bride, tremendous classic film. Ash turned out great visually, a very, very chef's kiss. Rom-com, romantic comedy. That's what that stands for. Their eyebrows shoot up in surprise. Oh.
Oh.
All right
okay.
then. As long as you're sure. Absolutely. The next showing's in 20 minutes. Shall we get tickets?
Nice.
Okay, great. We buy our tickets and a couple of snacks too. They're kind of overpriced, but you gotta have the full cinema experience, right? These guys get it. I'll gladly drop $50 on popcorn and a drink and nachos. Sometimes even Skittles and Twizzlers and M&Ms. Sometimes ice cream and the best seats in the house. I spend a lot of money on movies. I'm probably single-handedly keeping the movie business in business. But yeah, I absolutely get it. Sharing awkward grins, we head to our screen. Movie theaters always feel weird when they're fully lit. We find our seats and get comfortable. For a couple of minutes, we do nothing but stare up at the blank screen, grabbing occasional mouthfuls of our snacks. I guess conversation still doesn't always come naturally to us yet, and Ash's shyness definitely adds to it. I rack my brains for something to say. To my surprise, Ash actually gets there first for once.
You know.
By the way, thanks for inviting me out today. It was really nice of you. Not at all. It's nice to spend some time with you outside of work. They nod, taking a breath to steady themselves before continuing. I also wanted to say, wait a minute. This theater has 2 exits in the front. Huh, they're up to code. I know I've been super quiet in the office so far, but I'm going to try harder to change that. I realize that I probably seem kind of closed off, but I'm definitely not. It just takes me a while to get used to new situations and people. I want you and the others to feel like you can talk to me easily and not tread on eggshells around me or anything.
It's alright.
I'm not that fragile, I promise. They exhale a tiny laugh, and I find myself doing the same. You don't have to apologize for anything. It's fine to be quieter than everyone else. We definitely don't think you're rude or shut off either, so don't worry about that.
Cool.
Oh, that's a relief. Is this your first office job then? That would make their anxiety especially understandable.
Well...
It's not actually. I've worked in a couple of offices part-time since I graduated university. I think that's why the boss picks me. Oh. That's surprising.
I just feel like...
I feel like they didn't prepare me very well, though. You know when some jobs don't let the newbies do much because they don't know the ropes and might mess things up? Oh yeah, some bosses are done like that.
Right?
I know, right? It's like, how am I supposed to learn if you don't let me do stuff? It's even better when they don't hire you. I mean, this is just the stereotypical, like the 25-year-old argument now. They only hire you based off of your work experience, but you can't get work experience until they hire you. Never-ending loop. Bosses these days want you to be 25 years old with 30 years of experience. My previous jobs were like that. They never let me have many responsibilities. So I got an idea of how the office works, but no proper knowledge of it. And that's why you feel a bit overwhelmed starting with us, right? Ash points at me with an expression that says, bingo.
Yeah.
Exactly. I haven't felt confident in what I'm doing yet. But once I get to that point, I'll be more friendly towards everyone. I'm just... yeah, I'm still figuring it out. That makes total sense, honestly. Don't worry about it. You'll be a solid part of the team in no time. If you ever need anything, you can always ask me. I'm only a couple of desks away. They break into a grateful smile.
Thanks.
Thanks, Skull. It's nice to chat to you like this. You know, when we're not trying to work at the same time. Yeah, definitely. We enjoy a moment of quiet contentment, and then Ash checks the time. The movie should be starting soon. I notice their legs jiggling just a little bit. I guess they're excited. Are you really into movies then?
Yeah.
I do quite like them. Like I said before, I'm kind of an introvert, so my hobbies only really involve chilled out things like seeing movies and playing games. I hear a little fleck of shame in their voice again, but there's no need. There's no need for it at all. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm the same, really. I game quite a lot, and my movie collection is getting kind of big now. I feel that I own currently physically 650 movies, and a lot of them are on multiple formats. I literally own over 1,000 copies of films physically, plus a bunch of stuff digitally, so yeah. No such thing as too big. I can stop whenever I want. Ash's eyes seem to light up when I say this. Oh, you're welcome, Ash.
Nice.
Oh, cool. I do love movies, honestly. Ah, look at that! Ah, cute visual. They swivel in their seat to look at me more directly, and I swear their whole energy changes somehow.
I think so.
They're like a super easy way to get lost in something, aren't they? Like you can forget about your real life for a while and just immerse yourself in another world. I think getting caught up in an amazing story is probably my favorite thing in life, actually. Wow. Ash really starts to shine when they talk about their passions. It's so lovely to see after how timid they've been at work.
Hey,
What kind of movies do you like best? I know you said you're pretty open to anything, but do you have a favorite genre? I guess maybe thrillers or anything fantasy-based. The old good versus evil thing, you know? Ash nods with a grin.
cool.
Oh, a classic. Can't go wrong with that. It's definitely romance for me, though. I'm not sure why. Maybe you're just a sucker for a big, cheesy, happy ending. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's just a sort of faraway look twinkles in their eye, and they seem almost dreamy as they speak.
I just feel like...
I love the concept of relationships in general. Being loyal to one person and giving them your all. I like seeing relationships work out on screen, especially if they've been through struggles to get there. And I guess They blush a little.
You know...
I like romantic gestures. Write that down! Write that down! Not necessarily the grand over-the-top ones, but just nice, heartfelt things that make you sure that someone's feelings are real. They smile absent-mindedly, looking more relaxed than I've ever seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like them, I guess. It probably sounds way too corny, right? No, I like that you're into them. It's cute. Our eyes meet, and the smile we share has real warmth to it. I'm about to ask them if they have a favorite rom-com of all time when the lights go down. The movie's starting at last. Grinning, we accept the interruption and sit back to enjoy the show. However, the conversation lingers pleasantly in my mind for a while. I really appreciated seeing more of the real Ash just now. I knew there was a vibrant person hiding in there. It just needed the right environment to coax it out. They seem very sweet, and the way they view relationships with such reverence is pretty awesome to me. I've always been the kind of person to take relationships seriously and not just fool around. I'm very till death do us part, and have often daydreamed about finding that one person who treats you right and spending the rest of my life with them. I might not watch a whole ton of romance movies, but I'm definitely a romantic at heart. It seems like Ash is too. And honestly, it's kind of attractive. I liked Ash anyway, but knowing this side of them only makes them even nicer in my eyes. I won't lie, the thought that they treasure relationships the way I do makes my chest tingle a little. I think some Vaseline will help with that. The movie was pretty good. Once it's over, we head back out into the lobby. The pair of us laugh as our eyes struggle to get used to the piercing light again. So, what did you think? Did it live up to your romantic expectations?
Definitely.
It was nice, yeah. I liked how the guy actually gave up his job to move back across the country to be with her. Can you imagine if everyone was that selfless in the name of love? Her face brightens again. Right? The bar has been set, people. Not gonna throw your whole life away for me? Not interested. We laugh more loudly. The two of us seem way more at ease with each other now. I'm guessing you'd like to be in a relationship like in that movie? Intense week?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Their sense of loyalty was the best thing to me. If I had a partner, I feel like my whole world would revolve around them. I love knowing that people are happy with me. That's exactly the kind of thing I crave. God, I'd love to be someone like that. Yeah. We both freeze for a second, realizing the accidental suggestion we've made. I hadn't meant to sound like I'd love to be with Ash specifically, but the way I'd said it... Oops. The two of us chuckle awkwardly, our cheeks burning. It really doesn't help that my stomach is doing flips from the romantic conversation. I glance at Ash, bracing for some kind of disapproval. Surprisingly, they gaze steadily at me, not shying away. The moment is slightly intense. Anyways, yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for helping out with me today. I really enjoyed it. Hanging out. Okay, I guess we just move on. Cool. Ditto. It was really nice getting to know you a lot better.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I'll head home now. But I'll see you in the office on Monday. Sure, looking forward to it.
See ya.
Me too. Thanks again. See you later. Well, that was a really nice afternoon. Not only did I grow quite a bit closer with Ash, but I also started to feel, well, what is this exactly? The cheesy romance talk is over, and yet I'm still standing here blushing like an idiot. I guess it was just the way Ash fawned over these relationships and how they described the devotion they'd show if they were in one themselves. That's the exact kind of thing that makes me weak. Maybe the butterflies I'm feeling aren't just hypothetical. Maybe I'm into Ash romantically. The more I think about it, the more embarrassed I get. But I also can't deny that it's not true. I've been drawn to Ash since they started work a few days ago. Brianna and Malik are awesome, don't get me wrong. There's just something about Ash that pulls me in. Could the two of us ever take things beyond friendship? I immediately feel stupid for even thinking it. We only just met, really. Plus, Ash takes a while to warm up to new scenarios. I can't just barge in there professing my affections when we're only just starting to become friends in the first place. Still, the way they looked at me when I accidentally suggested I'd like to be with them. Oh man, This is a tricky one. Maybe I'll just have to start dropping some subtle hints into the conversation once we're back at work. Nothing aggressive, just something that Ash could see as an invitation to be more open about their feelings, even if they even do have any toward me. They definitely seemed much happier around me today, so if that's anything to go by, there could be a chance. But I need to stop thinking about it for now. It's too early for this. My cheeks feel like they're going to fall off from grinning. All aboard for a feels trip. I press my palms against my hot face as I stride out of the lobby. I feel like it's crazy to be crushing on someone so soon. But it's pretty exciting too.
Oh, hey.
I repeat, this feels like things are going too well. This game is rated M for mature, and it's called A Date with Deception, and based off of how that movie played out, I don't think that it was called Deception. So, what big bad thing is going to happen to ruin my evening? Well, let's find out together, shall we? Okay, Skull, I've uploaded my set of results to the system. Have you done yours yet? Just finishing it now. I tap away at the keyboard, entering the last piece of data. There, done.
Sweet.
Sweet! It's almost the end of the day, and our senior team members are combining our work for the boss to analyze tomorrow morning.
Huh?
I'm guessing yours is already there, Lydia? His assumption is pretty reasonable. Lydia is easily the most organized out of the three of us. However, it seems like today is an exception.
Oh man.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. I don't even have time to input it all right now either. I promised Barbara I'd drop these files around to her section and help her sort them out. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. Wouldn't it be interesting if right before something bad were to happen, I would say, well, that's it for today. That would be very interesting if that were to happen. She nods at the hefty pile of folders she's carrying.
Jeez.
What a mess. I really spaced on that one. I'll do it, Lydia. Don't worry. She gazes at me, hopefully.
Oh?
Oh, would you? I'm still logged in. You could just use my computer. The data's there. She jerks an elbow towards a small printed document on her desk. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Go get those files done.
Awesome.
Thanks, Skull. You're a lifesaver.
Wow.
Wow. I don't think I've seen you drop the ball in a long time, Lydia. Wait till the boss hears about...
Hey.
The boss ain't hearing about crap! Get the door for me, will you? The whole room erupts into giggles at their play fighting. Then Sean obediently holds the door open for Lydia to come, her arms wrapped tightly around the stack of files. Well, it's gonna... to give you guys a little peek at what's coming up, it's going to be a while before I play True Colors again. Sunday is going to be Sword and Fairy again, as I always play on Sundays. And next week, I've actually got... Let me double check. I've got 2 games to play next week, and one of them is going to hold over until the week after as well. So it's going to be a while before I get back to this, but hey, I want to get back to this at some point. This is a very intriguing start. Grinning, I make my way over to Lydia's desk to help her out, as promised. I barely sat down when a small presence begins to hover by my side.
Hey,
Hey. Oh, hey, Ash. Did you need something?
can I ask?
I was just wondering if I could watch you input Lydia's results. I haven't done that much work on the online system yet. It'd help me understand it better if I could see how it's done. Is she a spy? Is she going to look over our shoulder and get passwords and stuff and then sell them to another company? Corporate espionage. Ash, I thought you were cool. Only if you don't mind, though. Since they really are putting in an effort to be more productive in the office. Nice to see. course not. Pull up a chair. They patter over to their desk. After wheeling their own seat over to sit next to me, we get down to business. I try to explain the process as best I can while going through it. Thankfully, Ash seems to understand it with no problems. I let them do certain parts of it, and they're able to keep up decently. It's not long before we're done, and Lydia's spotless track record lives to fight another day.
Thanks.
Thanks for letting me help with that. I think I'll be able to do it myself now. Sure thing. You're really hustling to get to grips with everything. I can see the difference from when you first started.
Really?
Oh, really? I'm glad it comes across. It's true. This week has seen a noticeable improvement in how much Ash tries to get involved with things.
This is...
They swivel their chair from side to side bashfully. They probably have a nicer one than I do.
I think so.
You've definitely made me feel welcome, Skull. Thanks for being so nice to me and for all the guidance. It's helped me to settle in more. They send a small but authentic beam my way, and I feel touched. Hey, don't even mention it. I'm glad you're a part of the team. I smile back, and the air around us tingles with growing friendship.
Wow.
Wow! Way to hoodwink the newbie, Skull! What do you mean hoodwink?
Right.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows you've always been a total loner. You only ever have your face in your work, your games, or your pillow. Lydia would back me up if she was here. He smirks boyishly at me. And what's that supposed to mean?
Huh?
I'm just saying. Now you're all, oh, look at me. I'm so approachable. No, I can do this even better. Oh, look at me. I'm so approachable and friendly with Ash. You clearly have ulterior motives, no? He wiggles his eyebrows suggestively, and his gaze yo-yos cheekily between me and Ash.
In fact,
You do seem closer with Ash than myself or Brianna. Are we not cute enough for you, Skull? Is it the green hair? The shy smiles? So, it's in text. Green hair. There we go. He chuckles as he teases me, and I glare in mock anger at Sean. See what you've done now? You've got the newbies copying your dumb obsession with office gossip.
Fine.
At least I'm not using database tutorials as a cover for flirting. He and Malik crack up at this, and the rest of the office follows suit. Does that include Ash, though? Ash's face turns an impressive shade of red, and I think mine does the same. I hope all this joking around doesn't bother Ash too much, since they're not the biggest fan of being the center of attention.
oh?
Go on, Ash. What makes you want to work with Skull more than anyone else? What magnetic connections draw you in? Everyone stares at Ash eagerly, and I feel bad about what this is turning into. Yeah, so do I. However, to my surprise, they actually respond.
You know...
Oh, I don't know. They turn back to look at me. As our eyes meet, I see something shift in their expression.
Yeah.
I just like Skull. I did not expect such a serious and heartfelt answer.
Oh.
There's a chorus of "whoa" from everyone in the room, as though Ash and I are the main characters of a drama they're watching. At least it's all in good fun, right? At least they're not being jerks about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So cute! When's the honeymoon? Okay, they're being jerks about it. All right, Sean, keep your pants on. He takes the hint, slinking back to his desk. Thankfully, everyone else decides that they've also had enough of ripping on us for one day, going back to what they were doing. Ash and I stand up, beat-faced and embarrassed. Somehow, Ash doesn't actually look that horrified about what just happened. They grin shyly at me as we return to our own desks. Okay, butterflies are officially fluttering again. I sit back at my computer, finishing up the last tasks of the day. It's hard to concentrate, though. It might have all been in good fun, but Malik had a point when he suggested that Ash prefers to work with me the most. I've kind of noticed it myself, honestly. They've definitely been pushing themselves to be more outgoing with everyone, but they also seem to gravitate toward me the most. I swear, every time we talk, there's more eye contact, smiles, and familiarity. It's been really nice, and I haven't noticed them being quite that open with the others. And now they say they just like being in front of everyone, and smile so damn sweetly when they say it. My heart can't help but read into that, you know? If I'm being honest with myself, I do think that I'm genuinely starting to like Ash. They're pretty much exactly the kind of person my dating fantasies are based on. It's hard for me to tell if they feel the same about me, though. I'd like to hope so, but they're so shy. Maybe I should wait for a clear signal. What do you want, a big neon sign that says, yes, I'm interested in you? Something from Ash that's a definite sign that they're thinking about me in a more than friends way. If it happens, then I'll feel more confident about making a move, and maybe I'll ask them out. Yeah, okay, plan acquired. Plan to be executed in the future, because that is where our stream is going to end. Borealis, while you're here, I just wanted to say personally, I don't know what comes next. I don't know how any of the other routes go, but from the 2 hours I've played so far with this route, this has been a great setup. I love the characters. They all feel true to life, and this is very intriguing, and I really want to see what happens next. It will be a while before I'm able to play this game again, but I really want to keep playing it in the future sometime. So, I loved Venus, so I'm sure that I will continue to love this just as much. So, yeah, you've done a great job making this game. As I said before, a big step up from Venus. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that, though. Your hard work is really shown through. It's really beamed, and you should be very proud of your work. So that will bring our stream to an end. True Colors on PlayStation. I should probably check to see where this is being published this week. Available this week on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. So, consoles. All right. Well, there's still so much left. So, if this looks at all intriguing to you, buy the game. Go buy it. What are you doing? Why are you still watching the video? Go. Bye. Later. All right. Thank you to everyone for being here, especially Borealis, Dim Lord, Rothsathy, Andrea, anyone I might have missed. I think that's everyone. All right. Shout out to the lurkers, and shout out to everyone watching on YouTube afterwards. I'll be back on Sunday to continue my playthrough of Sword and Fairy Together Forever. I really hope to come back to True Colors one day. If I'm strapped for content and I'm out of games to play, then I'll make sure to bring it up. Anyway, on behalf of Eustasia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great weekend, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.